Bag, I want the bag. Work my way from a garden to a track. Flip it from a track to a plot full of acres. Do it for the farmers and the producers and the makers. What we even here for? Occasionally I ask it. I know it's more than struggling, anticipating the casket. Reap what we sow, trying to fill up my basket. Life's a plantation, I self-law and master. Over the plot I've been granted on this planet. Now it's slanted, cause the chosen been supplanted. But if you overstand it, it was spoken. Fractured, but we ain't broken. Even though some would rather play the role of token, we growing. Black through the essence of our presence. We carry the blood of gods, we carry the mind of peasants. Rich black gardens, future look more like Eden. Multiply seeds like the seed banks in Sweden. Rep my planners on plan according to season. B1 code, switching it up is treason. Black power, family what we eat. Either we get fed or we feed. B1AG.
What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Welcome back to the B1AG Daily Bread Podcast. I'm John Henry Harris, holding down the fort for Farmer Brown, the MC. Now, yesterday at the NATO Summit, President Joe Biden warned the country that a food shortage is real and that we should prepare for U.S. food price hikes. This is something that B1AG has been talking about for the last year. Now, the pandemic was already a problem. Now you add on top of the pandemic the supply chain issues. So the shipping of foods, goods has already been disrupted. And now with this Ukraine-Russia war and inflation, food prices are expected to spike even higher. But here at B1AG, we're about solutions. And we have a very practical solution, and that is to grow your own food. But before we get into those solutions, let's just take a look and see what's going on with President Biden and what he had to say from the NATO Summit.
Well, American food producers, grocers, and customers feeling the impact of the war in Ukraine as they brace. Well, American food producers, grocers, and customers feeling the impact of the war in Ukraine as they brace for substantial price hikes. Nate Floyd live for us in the New York City newsroom with more on this. Nate, good morning.
Trace, good morning to you. Ukraine and Russia are two of the world's leading grain exporters, but the war will threaten the supply that they provide. And of course, this comes as Americans are already paying more for food because of inflation and supply chain issues.
American shoppers should expect that unfortunately their grocery bills are going to go up.
Rob Mackey is the president and CEO of the American Bakers Association. He says bread makers across the country are feeling the pressure from the war in Ukraine. And the longer the conflict goes on, the more it will affect the global food supply system.
If you take essentially one of the top wheat growing regions out of production for a year, that's going to have a ripple effect, substantial ripple effect.
Known as Europe's breadbasket, Ukraine, along with Russia, are two of the world's 5 leading exporters of wheat. Together, they produce 25% of the global supply.
And unfortunately, this is going to impact the most vulnerable in our society, many of whom are still feeling the impacts of the pandemic.
We're looking every day at inflation almost reaching 10%.
Dan Veroni is a supply chain expert and founder of Potomac Corn. He says that rising costs for energy and other raw materials, such as seed oils, will put the squeeze on consumer cost.
It's energy costs that are going to choke consumers at every level. As food companies need to stay competitive.
A recent report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics says that consumer food prices have risen nearly 8% since February 2021.
Food markets are globalized, so to a certain extent, it's impossible to avoid the impact of disruptions like this.
Caitlin Welsh is a food policy expert at the Center for Strategic International Studies. Though other countries face direct threats to their food supplies due to the war, she says Americans are not totally insulated from the impact.
I do think that this is going to continue to put more upward pressure for a longer amount of time on prices in the U.S. than if we didn't have this war. It's through increase in prices of these inputs that you see farmers are going to have to pay a lot more to produce, and then consumers are going to have to pay a lot more to buy this food.
Again, last month, U.S. food prices up 7.9% compared to last year, but the war may cause prices to go up even more. Back to you.
Yeah, Nate Boyd live for us in New York. Nate, thank you.
Y'all hear from the horse's mouth. Food prices are going to rise. They've already been rising 8% in 1 month. 8%. That's a lot of money, y'all. But there is a practical solution. And it's a solution that this country and people have always gone to throughout history to battle, scarcity in food or when food prices get too high. Grow your own food. We've been preaching this for over a year, y'all. And it's something that, look, y'all smell that? Y'all smell that? Nah, I don't smell what the Rock is cooking. No, that's not grandma's cooking. That's the proverbial ish hitting the fan. We have to be about action, y'all. It's time that we start growing our own food. That is the most practical solution that we can come up with, is to grow our own food, because we're about to get priced out of the grocery stores. There's already empty shelves. The prices are going up. The food quality is not going up. The food quantity is not going up, but the prices are. It's time for us to get these seeds in the ground. We talk about it every day. We've been preaching this for over a year. We got to grow our own food. We've got to grow our own food. Why? Because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. A year ago, we were trying to get everyone to stay ready. At this point in time now, March 25th, 2022, we have to get ready. We have to get ready. Go to healthyblackfood.com. Learn how to grow your own food. Like, share, and subscribe to the B1AG Daily Bread podcast on YouTube. Here at B1AG, we focus on agricultural production as it pertains to our community, ag education, marketing, health, food, nutrition, and economics. For us, for our community, for our people. There's an old saying that if the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer, the only thing left for the poor to eat is going to be the rich. If we grow our own food, we will all be wealthy. At least food wealthy. And if you can feed yourself when you're eating, everything else will work itself out. everything else will work itself out. Today's story, as you just seen with the news clip from Fox News, President Biden warns the food shortage is real from the NATO Summit. They're talking about this worldwide. Ukraine and Russia are at war. Russia is the #1 wheat producer, exporter in the world. Ukraine is #5 in the entire world. You have 25% of the world's grain production at risk. On top of all the other problems, it's a very simple, extremely simple solution. Grow your own food, because those farmers are having to pay more input, that's costing them more fuel just to grow. It's costing them more because there's fertilizer shortage as well. So that costs more to produce. And all that's going to mean is that we have to pay more at the grocery store. It's time that we get together and supplement our diet by growing our own food. This isn't about being cool. This ain't about like what's in style. This is about survival, y'all. I'm old enough to where growing your own food used to be a normal thing. I grew up farming with my grandfather in South Georgia. I can assure you, it is a luxury to be able to produce your own food. No matter how much or how little money we had in our pockets, it did not affect the way we ate. And that is a luxury and a blessing and a God-given right. And it's time that we reclaim this right. Now, we always talk about healthyblackfood.com. Farmer Brown and I put together a great program to show you how to grow your own food. Grow your own food. We teach you step by step. You don't have to be a farmer to know how to grow your own food. You don't have to have 100 acres, 50 acres, 20 acres. You can have less than an acre and still grow your own food. If all you have is a porch, if all you have is a balcony, if all you have is just a small piece of land, we can show you how to grow your own food. Hit us up at B1AG@gmail.com, because we encourage you to grow what you can and form cooperatives. Link up with other people that are like-minded, and y'all grow a diverse amount of food that y'all can put together and trade. In mathematics, 1 + 1 = 3. 2. 1 + 1 = 2 in mathematics. But economically speaking, 1 + 1 = 3. Because when you have one person and another person working together, they will be able to produce more together than each individual will be able to produce on their own. And to break it down for you even further, man, woman, they produce child. And you have 3. This food game works the same way. It's time for families to get together and start growing food and creating their own food, their own food hub. It's beyond that time. It's beyond that time. Hit us up at B1AGHipHop@gmail.com. So you can and ask us, how can we learn how to grow our own food? What can we do? What can we do? We have information and we want to share this information. Like, share, and subscribe. This is free. Like, share, and subscribe to B1AG Daily Bread Podcast on YouTube. We want to get this information out to y'all. This is of vital importance. The President of the United States, after speaking with other world leaders at the NATO Summit yesterday, he announced that the food shortage is real. We've been talking about this for over a year. Hopefully now that they're saying it, you can believe it. Don't wait until you're hungry to decide, well, maybe I should grow my own food. Stay ahead of the curve. That's what we're here for. This is Farmer Brown, the MC, and John Henry Harris. This is our mission, is to make sure that our people stay ahead of the curve, because I don't want to see our communities to continue to be decimated, especially by hunger, when we have everything we need. We still got good rain. We still got sunshine. We still got land. We have dirt. There's things that we can practically do, and we need to get our children involved so they can carry this survival skill, this knowledge into their older ages to pass on to their children. One of the main things that started Farmer Brown the MC on his journey was that he asked his niece, "Do you know where hamburgers come from?" She was young, maybe 6 years old, and she said a tree. She really thought, in her mind, hamburgers grew on trees. There is a huge disconnect from the people and the land, and that connection needs to be made ASAP. Today, right now. Not tomorrow, right now. Right now. One of my favorite little stores to go to, Dollar Tree. They even went up to $1.25. That's a 25% raise in prices. And the packages have gotten smaller. It's a dirty game. These price food hikes is because a lot of it has to do because of the war. But you also have to understand that these businesses, they're going to take advantage, and they will rise prices just for the sake of profits. And they will put profits over your life, over your livelihoods, and squeeze as much money out of the situation as they can. Let's get black to the garden. Let's grow our own food. You can do this at healthyblackfood.com. I'm pleading with y'all. I'm pleading with you. Let's get black to the garden. If not for anything else, just to make sure that you and your loved ones are food secure. Now, once you get into growing your own food, there is a world of knowledge, and it's also a world of wealth and opportunities available in the sector of agriculture, as agriculture is the most important sector in the entire world. Because if you don't eat, you can't do anything. You can't have a civilization if there's no food, if there's no water, if there's no fuel, if there's no fiber to put clothes on our backs and to build these buildings. And now we're talking about these chips, these circuit breakers and chips that go on our cell phones and cars. All of these are agricultural products, and they're all at risk. We need our brilliant minds and our strong, resilient hands to get black to the garden to ensure that we make it to the next level. Just in survive, not just surviving, but thriving. A lot of people talk about survivalism. At B1AG, we believe in thrivalism. We don't want to survive, just survive. We want to thrive. That's quite a few notches above surviving, y'all. And also, we have the Grow Hard Garden Challenge of 2022. If you look in the description of this video, you can sign up for free. You can sign up for free. This doesn't cost you anything at all. The Grow Hard Garden Challenge. This is the URL. This is the URL. www.eventbrite.com. Grow Hard Garden Challenge 22. Sign up. Sign up. And here's a short video of Farmer Brown explaining about the Grow Hard Garden Challenge for 2022 and how you can sign up and get black to the garden, become more food secure, become more self-sufficient.
What's going on? This is Farmer Brown MC, and I'd like to welcome you to the Grow Hard Garden Challenge 2022, brought to you by the Black Business School, HealthyBlackFood.com, and B1AG. Instructions for the challenge. First, you'll research the various urban garden systems, plant and construct at least 2. Second, conduct and submit at least 1 weekly social media post or live stream, update or report on progress of your garden, including but not limited to your design and planning process, construction process, seeding and transplanting, watering and irrigation, pruning and harvest, artwork, and other observations. Note, online report submissions should be hashtagged with hashtag B1AG, hashtag GHC22, hashtag GrowHard, or hashtag Black Business School. Feel free to send questions and inquiries to b1aghiphop@gmail.com. Last, submit a 2 to 5 minute video explaining in detail what herb, fruit, or vegetable did you grow? Why did you choose the garden systems you used? What did you learn during the challenge? What problems or hurdles did you face during the challenge? And describe a business idea that you could see based around your experience. We look forward to having a great time, and the winners will be revealed on the weekend of Juneteenth, 2022. This is a great opportunity for us to learn how to grow something, and everything starts with the seed. But like we say here at B1AG, if you really want to know something, learn how to grow something. Ski work it. Yeah. Hey, we can break it. Meet me in the garden, baby, we can work it. You don't need to dress up, cause it's gonna be dirty. Trying to grow together, that's my only purpose.
Now our kids, they're getting ready there and they're going on spring break. What's a better what better activity for them than to grow something? They will learn so much. Get them off of them cell phones. Get them off of them video games. Get them outside. Get them outside in this great sun and get that natural sunshine on. We're melanated. That's our power plug, that sun. Let's get them out in that sun. Let's get them doing something constructive. Let's let them learn something real. Let's let them learn something real. Shout out to everybody who's watching us live. Shout out to everybody who's watching us live and supports us. Jay Monty, Tania Haskins, what's happening? Salute. Brooke Sinclair, Vincent McCray Jr., Precious SoCal Gardener, peace. Mario Elin says he's got his compost today and he's ready to plant for his family and community. Get with your church. Get your churches involved. I don't care who you believe in, because we all got to eat. And we need as many people participating and growing their own food as possible. I don't want to see our community decimated any more than it has been. This is another threat, y'all. And it's not just a threat on our community. This is a threat on all communities. On everyone. And we can't depend on someone else to save us when we have everything that we need to save ourselves. It's very simple, y'all. For those watching live, I put in the chat this URL to sign up for the Grow Hard Garden Challenge 2022. I put that live. All you gotta do is click on it until you can go straight there. If you have to watch this replay video, stop it and write this down and put it in your URL. Do that. Also in the live chat, I dropped where you can find a black farmer near you. We have people watching from all over the country. There aren't many of us. There aren't many black farmers. However, this is one of the most comprehensive lists that we can find. Rewatch this video, pause, write this down, search, look, find a black farmer near you, Google it. This is what we can do for ourselves. I don't know about y'all, but I like to eat. You know, and I've been without. I've been without a lot of things. And I know one thing for sure. As long as one thing I'm not without is food and water, everything else will work itself out. Money comes and goes. But as long as that food is growing and I have food to recharge and quell that hunger, I know I'll make it to another day. I have energy to do what I need to do to survive. I have energy to do what I need to do to provide. Let's gear our minds towards something that is real, something that's important, something that's vital. You know, there are a lot of distractions, things that will divide us. But the one thing that connects us all is that we all have to eat. We all have to eat. That's what connects us all. Let's get back to the garden. Let's reap that grand harvest. And we all have a seat at that table. Join the Grow Hard Garden Challenge. Join and participate. Send in your pictures. Let's flood this internet with pictures of us growing food, of us getting black to the garden, of us becoming more self-sufficient, of us teaching our kids, our children, our loved ones, our young ones, our communities, how to become stronger just through food. Let's start there. Our community is being attacked on all sides, but let's just start with food. Who's going to get mad at that? Who's going to get mad about you growing food? Nobody. If anything, they're going to try to do the same thing. And that's a great thing because like I explained before, 1 + 1 = 3. I know conventionally 1 + 1 = 2, but when you add that plus, that's synergy. 1 + 1 will produce 3 because two people working together will produce more together than they will as individuals. It's just a fact, y'all. That's golden law. So again, President Biden warns of food shortage, says it's real, and he announces this from the NATO Summit. And it's not just America. This is the world. You have 25% of the world's grain output caught up in war. That's Ukraine and Russia. Russia being the #1 producer and Ukraine being the #5 producer. What does that mean? That means that loaf of bread is getting ready to go up. What does that mean? That means your cornflakes are getting ready to go up. They've already risen 8%, almost 8% in 1 month. Food prices have already risen 8% since February of 2022, according to Fox News. Y'all smell that? That's the ish hitting the fan, y'all. Let's do something about it. Let's do more than talk about it. Let's plant some seeds. Go to your local hardware store. Go to your big box store. Get some seeds and plant something that you can eat. It's the spring. Spring just started. Spring just started. Don't get caught up in this Meg Thee Stallion and whatever new controversy or distraction they're putting in front of you. Take a break from doing your little TikTok dances and plant something to make TikToks about you growing your food and send it to us so we can highlight you. If you're a rapper or a singer, go ahead and start making some songs about that garden, growing food, community. We need that. Let's put our collective focus on something that will help us. And that's growing some food, because everybody's got to eat. Everyone has to eat. Now, I like noodles. I like the little ramen noodles, cup of noodles. I eat that too. But I would like to have a choice on eating healthier, eating more abundantly, raising my vibration to fight whatever sickness comes down the pipeline, being strong enough to go to work that day and having enough energy to bring back whatever for the family. It all starts with food and water. So here at B1AG, we always fight where we tell you we're fighting against the algorithm. Fox News made a news report about it, but this needs to be talked about all day, every day in our communities about how we're going to grow more food and make sure that we are food secure in these days and time. So if the algorithm is not pushing this narrative, if the algorithm is not pushing this message, we need to push this message. And here at B1AG, again, this is our mission, to push this message, fighting the algorithm with the algorithm.
Pushing Pushing the black algorithm. Ancestors, they mastered the systems. We raising your bosses, no victims. Planting that knowledge curriculum. Blessing the oops with the nutrients. The darker the berry, like Nubian. Dropping receipts like I'm Julian. The streets with that food like Peruvian. Trapping the merch and the fruits and the veggies. CSA boxes, my package is heavy. Ship across town in the bed of my Chevy. Printing them up, growing hard for that baby. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta scramble. Bet on black farmers and growers, no gamble. Reclaiming our pain cause the game is in shambles. Blessed with that melanin, carry the mantle. Mothers and fathers of civilization. Black to the garden with food cultivation. Building back better through black innovation. B1 community growing the nation. Genetically designed to be the dopest. Stoking that growth mindset. Codified, now we focus. Farming on back on track. Feed the fam, break bread with them. Pushing that B1AG algorithm. Now watch me get them, watch me get them. Pushing that B1AG algorithm. Feed the fam, break bread with them. Pushing that B1AG algorithm. Watch me get them, watch me get them. Pushing that B1AG algorithm.
Toya Boone says she just left the store getting 30 pounds of potatoes to plant. Sweet potato slips are already growing. Super easy to do. Sweet potatoes is one of the most nutritionally dense vegetables on the planet. Sweet potato will save your life. Not only will a sweet potato save your life, it will enhance your life. Growing your own food and eating this fresh food will enhance your life. Grow some tomatoes, grow some potatoes, grow some beans. We show you what we have the answer for you, family. We have the answer for you. Just hit us up at B1AGHipHop.com. B1AGHipHop@gmail.com. Hit us up. We have the answers for you. Believe it or not, me and Farmer Brown been pushing this for over 10 years. This is 10 years in the making, y'all. We're trying to we've been calling out, crying out, showing the benefits, the numbers, the proof, the amount of money, the overwhelming, disproportionate number of us that are not involved in agriculture, showing throughout history how agriculture has been the backbone of every civilization, how agriculture sparked Black Wall Street when we were the most fruitful and independent and self-sufficient in our time in the history of this country, was when we were growing our own food. Everything comes from the dirt. Everything that is important comes from the dirt or is made from something in the dirt. The dirt. You know, all these rappers talk about they get it from the mud. Everything comes from the mud. Don't be afraid to get out there and get your hands a little dirty. There's gold in them. It's gold in that mud. It's called food. And there's real gold out there in the mud. Diamonds, all these jewels that everybody lusts for and covets. It comes from the dirt. Re-energize your connection with Mother Earth. We can save our communities, not only survive, but thrive through agriculture. Hit us up at B1AGHipHop@gmail.com. Go to healthyblackfood.com. Sign up. Learn how to grow your own food. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. But that word ready, stay ready, get ready. That takes action. Are you about that action or are you just about that talk? Because it's time for some action. It's time for some action, y'all. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. John Henry Harris, holding it down for Farmer Brown MC. Y'all hit us up at B1AG@gmail.com. Send your well wishes to Farmer Brown MC. He'd appreciate to see that. Send your love, well wishes, and just good vibes to Brother Farmer Brown MC. And at the end of the day, here on this channel, we love to say, if you really want to know something, learn how to grow something. Until next time, John Henry Harris, we have Farmer Brown MC. Get better, bro. I'm holding down for you. And I'll see you next time on B1AG Daily Bread Podcast. We need 1,000 subscribers, y'all, so we can monetize and get this message out to you in a more efficient way. We need that. Just 1,000. Let's just get to 1,000 so we can do that. If you have to stop, this is support us with our merch. Get your B1AG merchandise. B1AG-merchandise.creator-spring.com. We got some great merchandise for you. We're getting ready to load up our athletics line. So all those that are athletes out there, we got something for you to get out there and wear and show the world that we're athletes. We're not just athletes. We're athletes. And with the Grow Hard Garden Challenge 2022, we're looking for the LeBron James of gardening. We're looking for the Kevin Durant's of gardening. We're looking for the Steph Curry's of gardening. Because the time is now. We all have to eat. Donate to B1AG, Cash App, $ B1AG Hip Hop. And I can assure you, any money that is donated to this platform, we are putting it back into the platform to bring this message, especially to our children, our young ones, so they learn how to grow harder. Like, share, and subscribe. B1AG Daily Bread Podcast on YouTube. Be about it. It's about that action. Until next time, I'm John Henry Harris. It's B1AG Daily Bread Podcast. Talk to you soon. Peace.